Being excessively nice might actually be the exact reason why people around you do not respect your presence or your voice. And the absolute worst part of this reality is that the nicer you become, the more invisible you are to everyone else. This is the brutal truth about human nature that society often hides from you, but you need to hear it right now. You were constantly taught since childhood that being a universally nice person automatically makes you a genuinely good and valuable human being. But in the harsh reality of the real world, this constant niceness often just makes you incredibly easy to ignore and dismiss. You find yourself saying yes when your heart desperately wants to scream no, simply because you want to avoid any potential conflict. You choose to stay completely silent when something deeply bothers your soul, burying your authentic feelings just to keep the fragile peace. You continue to give your time, energy, and resources to others, even when your own emotional cup is completely empty and drained. We need to acknowledge a difficult truth today. Chronic people-pleasing behavior is not genuine kindness at all. It is just fear. It is the profound fear of rejection, the fear of standing alone, and the fear of losing the fragile approval of others. Why do people consistently look down upon those who are always nice? The first reason is a complete lack of personal boundaries. Human beings are wired to test limits, and unfortunately, people simply do not respect what you consistently tolerate without any pushback whatsoever. When you allow others to cross your lines without consequence, you subtly communicate that your own needs are entirely worthless and unimportant. The second reason nice people lose respect is their overwhelming fear of being disliked or judged negatively by their peers and colleagues. They desperately trade their self-respect and dignity for cheap external approval, hoping constant compliance will finally earn them love and validation. But this strategy always backfires because true respect is never freely given to those who constantly bend their will just to please. The third reason is that overly nice individuals rarely speak their absolute truth, hiding their genuine opinions behind a mask of agreeableness. And over a long period of time, people naturally stop taking them seriously because their words lack the weight of authentic conviction. Here is a powerful insight you must remember. If you refuse to stand up for yourself, absolutely no one else ever will. The world does not inherently reward niceness or passive behavior. Instead, it deeply respects and responds to quiet strength and firm boundaries. Let us look at real-life examples we see every single day in our workplaces, our friendships, and our modern romantic relationships. The person who is always available to help everyone else is usually the one who gets ruthlessly exploited and left completely exhausted. The individual who always agrees with the group consensus is frequently overlooked when important decisions or leadership opportunities finally come around today. The partner who is far too easygoing and forgiving is often taken for granted, their immense sacrifices treated as just basic expectations. You simply do not get genuine respect by being highly agreeable and constantly molding yourself to fit into everyone else's specific expectations. You only earn true respect by being completely real, unapologetically authentic, and firmly grounded in your own core values and personal beliefs. This is where we must turn to the ancient philosophy of Stoicism to fundamentally reframe our entire understanding of human social dynamics. The great Stoic philosophers of the past were certainly not what modern society would categorize as traditionally nice or excessively accommodating people. Instead, they were incredibly calm, brutally honest, deeply principled, and emotionally unshakable in the face of intense public pressure and societal expectations. Stoicism teaches us three fundamental principles to stop being a chronic people-pleaser and start reclaiming our lost power and personal sovereignty. The very first Stoic principle is to always speak your truth, even when the words feel heavy and the situation is uncomfortable. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that honesty is a moral duty, and suppressing your true thoughts is a profound betrayal of your character. Speaking your truth does not mean being cruel or aggressive. It simply means expressing your genuine reality without any apologies or hesitation. The second crucial principle is to establish and fiercely maintain your personal boundaries, even when other people strongly dislike or resist them. Boundaries are the invisible walls that protect your precious mental energy, your valuable time, and your irreplaceable emotional health from toxic vampires. When you start saying no to unreasonable requests, some people will inevitably get angry because they lose their easy access to you. Let them be angry. Their emotional reaction is completely their own responsibility to manage, not a burden for you to carry forever. The third essential principle is learning to fully accept being misunderstood by the vast majority of your social circle. Epictetus taught that we must clearly separate what we can control from what is entirely outside of our personal influence. You have absolutely no control over other people's opinions, their unfair judgments, or the false narratives they might construct about your life. Once you deeply internalize this truth, you stop performing for an audience and start living strictly according to your own internal compass. You realize that you don't actually need every single person in the world to like you or approve of your choices. What you truly need, more than anything else, is to look in the mirror and genuinely respect the person staring back daily. And ironically, the exact moment you stop desperately chasing everyone else's validation is the exact moment they finally start respecting your presence. When you walk into a room with the quiet confidence of someone who needs nothing, your energy immediately commands attention and reverence. People are naturally drawn to those who possess the rare courage to stand alone rather than blending into a crowd of shadows. Think about the individuals you admire most in history. They were rarely the ones who simply agreed with everything to avoid trouble. They were the bold visionaries, the fierce truth-tellers, and the unyielding spirits who drew a firm line regarding their core values. It is time to completely shed the heavy, suffocating armor of niceness that you have worn for so many years without thinking. Start viewing your kindness as a highly valuable currency that should only be spent on those who genuinely deserve and appreciate it. Stop offering your precious energy to individuals who view your generous nature as a convenient weakness to be exploited for their gain. A true Stoic understands that their inner peace is far too valuable to be traded for the fleeting smiles of ungrateful strangers. You must cultivate a mind that remains perfectly calm while you assertively communicate your needs and unapologetically reject what does not serve. This profound transformation will not happen overnight. It requires daily practice, immense courage, and a willingness to sit with temporary social discomfort. The next time someone asks you for a favor that compromises your peace, take a deep breath and simply say no firmly. Do not offer a long, elaborate apology or invent a fake excuse to justify your perfectly reasonable decision to protect your time. A simple, direct refusal is a complete sentence, and it powerfully signals that you are the absolute sovereign master of your life. Notice how the dynamic instantly shifts when you stop bending over backwards and start standing tall in your own authentic, grounded truth. The fake friends who only loved you for your constant compliance will naturally fade away, leaving room for truly meaningful, balanced connections. You will slowly build a circle of allies who respect your boundaries and admire your unwavering commitment to your own personal integrity. This is the ultimate path to true freedom, liberating yourself from the invisible chains of societal expectations and endless people-pleasing patterns. Remember that being a good person does not require you to become a passive doormat for the rest of the world continually. You can be deeply compassionate, fiercely loyal, and incredibly generous while still maintaining an unbreakable core of self-respect and strong boundaries. In fact, your kindness actually becomes much more powerful and meaningful when it is a conscious choice rather than an automatic obligation. The ancient Stoics knew that true virtue requires immense strength. You cannot be truly virtuous if you constantly act out of fear. Step into your quiet power today by recognizing that your worth is not determined by how much you can do for others. Your worth is inherent, deeply rooted in your character, your resilience, and your unwavering dedication to living a life of absolute truth. Let the world see the real you, complete with your firm boundaries, your honest opinions, and your unwavering commitment to self-respect. Dropping the nice act feels terrifying initially, but beyond that intense fear lies genuine, lasting personal freedom and true peace of mind. Embrace the profound Stoic wisdom that teaches us to value our own judgment above the fleeting applause of the confused and noisy crowd. You are not here on this earth to simply be a convenient background character in everyone else's chaotic and demanding life story. You are here to be the strong, unshakable author of your own destiny, guided by reason, courage, and an unbreakable moral compass. So stop being just nice and start being real, because the world desperately needs more authenticity and far less fake, polite compliance. Claim your space, speak your truth boldly, and watch how the universe reorganizes itself to respect the person you have finally become. Thank you for watching this journey. Stay strong, remain authentic, and always keep seeking the profound truths of the Ancient Wisdom channel.